Okay, champs, welcome back to the channel. I thought I would make a video to discuss the PS5 Pro as it is the hot topic right now, and I see quite a lot of people understandably getting quite annoyed about it, a bit frustrated with Sony. I totally get it. And there's enough opinions out there, but I thought I'd give my thoughts on a few things about the PS5 Pro. So as you all know, we all watched the marketing video that they released about, I think, 10 days ago now. It was only about 8 minutes long. It was very technical, which is quite nice to see and hear. And they sold the big three, which was a bigger GPU, advanced ray tracing, and AI upscaling. So the big thing was really about the graphics. And the biggest takeaway was right now on your current PS5s, you have to make a choice between resolution mode and performance mode. So do you want your game to run at the highest speed, i.e. 60 frames per second if the game is made at that, or do you want to run it at 4K but possibly at 30 frames a second? So now on the PS5 Pro, you will no longer have to make that choice. You can just play your games at the best resolution they were made for and at the highest frames per second. So you can play 4K 60 frames a second games. The other thing with the PS5 Pro is that it will come with built-in 2TB storage, which is great. Take it from me, I use a 2TB SSD on my PS5, which I think I have made some videos about how to install that, and it's a godsend. It's amazing. When you have a 2TB SSD in your PS5, you will never run out of space. I mean, you'd have to be playing concurrently 10 massive games to run out of space, which I doubt that really happens for people. So that's really good. So that was the big three that they marketed. And to be fair, most of us came away with our own big three, which is, quite honestly, there's no disk drive that comes with the PS5 Pro. You have to buy it separately. There is no vertical stand that comes with the PS5 Pro. Also, you have to buy that separately. And the price tag, which is in the UK £700 or $700 or €800, which would make it one of the most expensive Sony consoles. I think if you adjust everything for inflation, the PS3 might still be more expensive than the Pro, but nevertheless, that's a huge sum of money for a Pro version of a console that already exists. And to be fair, based on my knowledge from my channel and Discord server, not a lot of hardcore gamers still have bought the PS5. Everyone's still happy on their PS4, and I totally get it due to the lack of games and the fact that games are still launching on the PS4 as well. So ultimately, when you break it down, the biggest selling point of the PS5 Pro is 2TB storage, which, by the way, is not going to be 2TB because the PS5 comes with, I believe, 800 gig of storage, which is marketed as, and you end up with about 600 because they have the internal system info or system data that takes up space. So it'll be marketed as 2TB. We'll probably get about 1.7, maybe 1.8 if we're lucky. So we get about 1.8 terabyte of storage, and we no longer have to pick between resolution or performance mode. We can play our games in 4K at 60 frames a second, which depends on how big of a deal that is for people. I mean, I play games on 30 frames a second, and I don't mind. Very recently, I think I played in Platinum The Division 1, which was a PS4 game, and played it on the PS5. It didn't have its own update, and the first very recent 3 or 4 hours, I definitely noticed that it was 30 frames a second. It was a bit choppy, but I adapted. I got used to it, and that was it, and just cracked on, played the game for about 70, 80 hours, got the Platinum, no problem. So I'm not too fussed about the frame rates personally. I'm more into resolution, especially because we live in a kind of 4K world now with 4K TVs, monitors. HDR has become the norm, so yeah, I'm more into the resolution. But if I'm buying the PS5 Pro now, and on my desk I had my PS5 vertical, so for me, and I have a disc drive because I have loads of disc games behind me on my shelf, so for me to get the vertical stand, because I know the PS5 Slim stands by itself without the vertical stand, but I'm just a bit OCD like that. If someone tells me a console needs a stand and they sell the stand, I'm just going to get the stand. I don't want my PS5 to fall down. So the stand cost about £25 in the UK. The disc drive is £100. So for me to have the PS5 Pro configured the way I want, vertically standing, secure, with a disc drive will cost me £825, which is an immense amount of money. And I mean, I get why people are up in arms about it. It doesn't help that on the presentation, when they first started showing footage, they started showing games that, originate on the PS4, which is not a good look. They showed The Last of Us 2, which I love. It's one of my favorite games. I know it was recently remastered for the PS5, a remaster we didn't really need. And to be honest, I didn't notice the difference personally. But it didn't get lost on people that they're showing off the PS5 Pro by showing a PS4 game. And even when you go to the website and they talk about games that are updated for the PS5 Pro, you've got Last of Us 1 remastered on there. You've got Demon's Souls, which is also a remake of a PS3 game. You've got Horizon Forbidden West, Gran Turismo, and Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, which is a good game, but a very short game. So it's not like we've got these new wave of games that we can then play on the PS5 Pro and they'll be advanced and the best way to play these games. So I think that's also been a struggle with people understanding why they're going to pay so much for this. So
Yeah.
the thing for me is, in the last generation, we obviously had the PS4 launch, and I might not remember that well because it was over 10 years ago, but I remember there came a point where it was quite clear that they're not making any more PS3 games. All the brand new games will be on the PS4. And that kind of pushed people towards buying the PS4. There was a clear, definitive line between the generations. I was quite late to the PS4. I didn't feel the urgent need to buy one straight away. And I remember it was Batman Arkham Knight that really forced my hand, where I was like, I must play this game. It's the third one of the trilogy. Obviously, there's more Arkham games than just the trilogy. But yeah, that was the game that made me really want to get it. But right now, with the PS5 generation, most games still come out on the PS4. I mean, arguably the best, this is subjective, but the best PS5 the best PlayStation first-party exclusive game is God of War Ragnarok on this generation, and that launched on both PS4, PS5. Even a month or two ago, Jedi Survivor, which was a current generation exclusive, also now has made a PS4 version. Granted, it was a year and a bit later, but still, they've made one for the PS4, which goes to show how popular the PS4 still is, and they want to hit those sales. So, yeah, I think the announcement of the PS5 Pro would have worked. It's kind of interesting. Astro Bot came out around the same time, and it's been widely regarded as a Game of the Year contender, a great game. I'm still yet to play it, but I know it's going to be amazing. I think it might have been smart if Astro Bot was made exclusively for the PS5 Pro, and they kind of connected them a little bit. It could have been a case of the PS5 Pro comes out in November, Astro Bot launches the week after, boom, there's your Christmas game. You get Astro Bot and it's made just for the PS5 Pro. It can run on PS5 obviously, but the best way is to run it on the Pro. Maybe that could have been a bit better way of planning and marketing the PS5 Pro. But the thing that worries me is, so you had the PS4, and then about approximately 4 to 5 years into that cycle, they launched the PS4 Pro, which I never got. And then eventually the PS5 came out, and it seems as if Sony is repeating this generational pattern. So what that technically means is we're currently possibly at the halfway stage of the PS5 generation, and there's now already quite strong rumors coming out about how they're working towards the PS6. There was some news recently about Intel not getting the contract for the chips or something like that. Another company has. So quite clearly, they are working towards the PS6. They're in R&D and they're building it and thinking about it and hiring the companies and vendors they need to bring it to fruition. So that's actually the thing that worries me the most. Right now, I personally feel we should be far away from a PS6. I don't think a PS6 is what the world needs. A PS6 and even the next Xbox, even though I don't own an Xbox, but the next generation of gaming consoles, I think everything should just take a pause right now. I think we're in a good place with technology. People, 4K and HDR is a big thing right now in terms of movies and games. And people are still at home with their HD televisions, their PlayStation 4s. So we should just let people catch up slowly when they can, when it's financially possible for them. I really think the PS5 has barely even got going. I know there's been some great games launched on it, but it's not like we've got a huge amount of PS5 only games. These are games you can still get on the PS4. So even I struggle to name you 10 PS5 only games. And even then, I'd probably still name a few remakes, which some people don't even count. Another argument I heard in regards to the PS5 Pro was the price you're going to pay for the console, £700 for me in the UK, $700, €800. A lot of people from the industry are saying that you wouldn't be able to build or acquire a PC at that price point with the same capabilities as the PS5 Pro. Now, I don't know anything about PC gaming. I know it's the top tier. It's the best way to play games. It's something I would like to try one day. I would like to try keyboard and mouse gaming on a PC. But I love my console ecosystem. I like having a PlayStation. I'm happy with that. And if that's the case, that's kind of interesting. But as a selling point, if you're saying to us that the PS5 Pro is on a par with PC gaming or better than PC gaming at that price point, you need the games to back it up. And that's the problem. We don't have the games to back it up. Sony need to have a big year next year. They need to launch some serious first-party games. I'm really hoping next year we learn more about Wolverine, we get a proper trailer and also a confirmed release date. I hope that we finally get a game from Naughty Dog, or at least some kind of transparency. Santa Monica working on a game. It could be its own. Apparently, they got their own IP and they got a God of War sequel or reboot. I don't know. But we need some clarity on this. And I think this would help Sony. If Sony want to sell us the PS5 Pro at this immense price, they need to tell us what we're going to look forward to in the next 18 months. We need to know, where's that next Naughty Dog game? What is the next Sucker Punch game? What is the next Santa Monica game? When is Ghost of Tsushima 2 coming? If it's coming, when are we getting Wolverine? Because right now, it's tricky, it's tricky because a lot of people are sitting there and I speak to them in my Discord server, I speak to them in the YouTube comments, they're happy with their PS4. And I totally get it. There's people here playing God of War Ragnarok on the PS4, Jedi Survivor, Last of Us 2, and they're having a good time. So there's been a few memes lately about how PlayStation do something bad and they do something good, they do something bad, they do something good, they follow up with something good. It's been up and down, and I've kind of find that's been the case. I've noticed that myself the last few months. There's been a few own goals and they've come up with something good. So good examples are they had the whole Concord fiasco, which I'm not even going to go into because it was just shocking. And then after Concord, it was like, here's Astrobot, a possible Game of the Year contender, one of the best PlayStation exclusives in a long time. With the PS5 Pro, they also had this bad to good. So they announced the PS5 Pro. It got slated, obviously, for its price and everything we discussed. And then they did this, which I want to show you and I also want to talk about. Just last week, they announced the 30th anniversary PlayStation Collection. And whilst I wasn't on the fence by getting the Pro, I know where I stood on the Pro. I was a bit annoyed about it because of all the reasons I've discussed, but then they did this, and this was shocking and surprising. They have made a set of current generation hardware that is in the style and colorway of the original PlayStation. So as you can see, we've got the PS5 Pro, we've got the PS5 Slim, we've got the PS5 DualSense, we've got the DualSense Edge, and we've got a Portal, all in this fancy colorway. And quite annoyingly, they sell them in certain bundles. Pre-orders, I believe, are going out on September 26th, which is the coming Thursday for us in the UK anyway. So if you get the PS5 Pro bundle, you get PS5 Pro console, the DualSense Edge, which is their Pro controller, You get the DualSense wireless controller, the standard one. You get the charging station, which charges 2 controllers. I have 2 of these myself. One in the back you might be able to see. I don't think so. And you also get the limited edition console cover for the disc drive. Not the disc drive, the cover. You also get the limited edition vertical stand, which is very kind of them. You get 4 PlayStation shaped cable ties, a sticker, a limited edition poster, a paper clip. I don't know who needs a paper clip. I don't know. Do you guys print off your trophy guides? You need a paper clip? I don't know. You also get this cool original PlayStation controller style cable, which is USB-C, but it looks like the original PlayStation 1 controller input. So that's that. You also can get the digital bundle, which is basically a PS5 Slim with 1 controller. And that's a closer look at the controllers. They just look amazing. And you can also get the Portal in this 30th anniversary grey colorway. So when I saw this, I was like, damn, PlayStation are going to just bankrupt me, because I won't lie, I do really want this. This has been, I've really enjoyed this generation in terms of the hardware. In the past with the PS3, PS4, I literally kept it simple. I had the controller, the console, the controller that came with it, 1 cable, and whatever headset that they gave me. I think the PS4, you get that 1 ear headset that you plug into the controller. That's not really great quality. But with this generation, I've loved the design. It's my favorite console. It's my favorite controller, and I've really loved picking up all the extras. So this is something that I'm considering, and I've got Thursday to decide. They've only made 12,000 of these, or 12,300, and it's to commemorate the 30th anniversary. And yeah, it's I'm quite intrigued. So this was the PS5 Pro was kind of the bad thing, and this was like the good thing that came straight after, a bit like Astrobot and Concord. So yeah, those are my thoughts really on the whole situation. Basically, the PS5 Pro gives you 2 terabytes of storage, and you don't need to pick between performance and graphics mode. That's it. That's it really in a nutshell. Nothing more, nothing less. That's really it. Yeah, it's going to be expensive. I think Sony are presuming that we're going to hand in our old PS5s and sell them on the second-hand market, which will help contribute financially, obviously, to getting the Pro. But as I said previously, I've loved this generation's hardware. I love the design of it, the aesthetic. I love how it runs. It's my favorite controller of all time, not in terms of games, but just in terms of the standalone console. PS5 is my favorite. The controller is my all-time favorite, no question. And as for the Pro, I am going to get it, and I will do like an unboxing and a review of it. I'm not sure what I'll review. I'll see what games I pick to see the improvement in it. But yeah, I just wanted to share my thoughts on the Pro console and the 30th anniversary edition, which I do think is very beautiful and very enticing. Let me know in the comments what you think. I think a lot of you will be thinking the same thing. The PS5 Pro is too expensive. There's not enough games to back it up. And for a lot of you, I think it's going to be a hard no question. Maybe for some of you who don't yet have a PS5, but you were close to getting one, maybe it's a chance to, I don't know, sell your PS4 and maybe get the PS5 Pro. I don't know. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you guys think about this whole Pro release, the 30th anniversary edition, and in general about this generation. Do you think that we really need to start thinking about PS6, or do you agree with me that really we could just pause, and quite frankly the PS5 generation could probably continue for another 7-8 years, in my opinion, comfortably for the remainder of this decade? I don't think we need another console this decade, but that's me. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and always appreciate you guys watching the videos. Appreciate the support you give to my channel. If you're interested in joining a nice, happy, like-minded community of PlayStation gamers and PlayStation trophy hunters, please consider joining my Discord. I've got a link in on my channel. And if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. It'd be most appreciated. And I will see you on the next video. Take care.